Urban legends, Bolsheokhinsky Bridge, Peter the Great Bridge. Bolsheokhtinsky Bridge is rightfully considered to be a visiting card of Street Petersburg, is among the most beautiful crossings in the world, and is a symbol of industrial Street Petersburg. But did you know that people were against its construction? Ferrymen organized rallies. Its name reflected the castrated rules of the Russian language. Builders hid a golden rivet in it, and its existence wanted to prevent moves. A big new bridge is badly needed for the development of the city. For the first time, the talk about building a bridge came closer to the middle of the 19th century. But as usual in the state of Russia, money in the budget was not enough. What can we talk about if in the center of Street Petersburg has not yet built a permanent crossing? And in this part of the Okhta, which was not yet the territory of the city, were only industrial areas. In spite of this, industrialists were not relenting. They went to the tsar, wrote petitions, and demanded a crossing. In 1860, they even founded the Society of Okhtinsky Bridge across the Neva River to fulfill the functions of petitioners. The only people who were against the bridge were ferrymen. Because of the popularity of the crossing, they did not hesitate to charge high prices and rip off the needy to the bone. Not every Petersburger could afford a ride on such a boat. At the end of the 19th century, Okhta was annexed to the city, and at the turn of the century, the community achieved their goals, so much so that on January 22, 1900, a final decision was made to build a bridge to the Malaya Okhta. Industrialists threw up their hats and beat each other's faces because everyone wanted the bridge closer to his enterprise for economic purposes. And for Ponce, such a neighborhood also warmed the soul. The bridge was to become a tidbit for builders and designers, especially sponsored from the Tsar's treasury and planned as a gift for the bicentennial of the city. No wonder that as many as 16 projects from all over the world were sent to the competition, including architects from France, Germany, Austria-Hungary, Spain, USA, and Holland. But they chose a work that was out of the competition, presented under the motto, "Freedom to Shipping." In contrast to the other works, it was proposed to build a drawspan. The original project was recognized as the best one, but it requires improvement. The basic idea, which was to suspend the road from the lower part of the bridge arches, was retained and did not fail. The construction was dragging on. The deadlines were being pushed back. The bridge could have become another long construction project in the history of the city, like the Zenit Arena. The whole process was accelerated by a tragedy. It took place in 1907. The steamer Arkhangelsk sank because of a collision with an ice floe. The tragedy was a smaller scale than the Titanic sinking, took place 5 years earlier, and about it in the end did not make a movie with DiCaprio. But as a result of it, 39 people died. What happened caused a great public outcry. Every newspaperman trumpeted about it all over Street Petersburg. Lucky for the emperor that LiveJournal was not then. I'm sure that every author in the top would have described this case, not leaving it alone. No wonder that in May of the same year, Nicosia gave the order, do not delay the construction of the bridge. In the outlines of industrial Street Petersburg, it was easy for an inexperienced traveler to see London. He could pass off the Neva River as the Thames and the Bolsheokhtinsky Bridge as the Tower Bridge. Such similarity was used by the director and producers of the film, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson, The Treasure of Agra. The key scenes of the film were shot in the period of white nights that minimized the risk of unnecessary people and Soviet cars getting into the frame. Although one local resident turned out to be quite useful, he rented his boat. In order to make it look properly, a metal pipe was attached to it, in which straw and fuel oil were burned, imitating the smoke of a steam engine. London. Now it's the turn of one of the most famous towers in the world. Well, of course, I'm talking about the Eiffel Tower. Because of the similarity of the structures, the Bolsheokhtinsky Bridge was called the French beauty that fell on its side. I wonder which street Petersburg lover did it. Like Eiffel's creation, our bridge is made of metal structures, which were connected with rivets. The Bolsheokhtinsky Bridge was also not to the taste of the citizens in its time. They called it too bulky and ugly. How wrong they were. Today, the bridge is considered one of the most beautiful in street Petersburg and the world. So the next time activists come out to a rally against the construction of another masterpiece, you can remind this story. Yes, it's hard to believe the theme, but it's pure truth. In this neighborhood in the Neva often swam into moose, regular ones with horns. To get to land, the poor creatures had to go down a gentle slope near the Bolsheokhtinsky Bridge, and often helped them in this by local residents. It is clear that now they do not organize such Olympic swims. Firstly, the embankments have become higher. Secondly, the noise of modern street Petersburg is not very conducive to a quiet swim. And thirdly, the industrial barns have long since run out of salt and tequila. As I said in the beginning, the bridge was supposed to be a gift for the bicentennial of the founding of the city, but they were not in time and laid the construction to the 200th anniversary of the victory in the Battle of Poltava. As you understand, the question of the name was not discussed, because the emperor himself led our army at that time. The bridge of Emperor Peter the Great gently deduced architects on the metal arches with gold paint, which remained after painting rivets. Changes in the leadership of the country and the name of the bridge were brought by the 1917 revolution. Due to the new government's dislike of royalty, the bridge became Bolsheokhtinsky. Yes, don't be surprised, that's exactly what it was. It turns out that not only in our time coffee was cut off its masculine grandeur, but in 1956 the rules of the Russian language were castrated, according to which the bridge turned into Bolsheokhtinsky. Today I want to tell you about 2 kilograms of pure gold, which is lying in a prominent place, but for 100 years, no one has found it. Bolsheokhtinsky Bridge in Street Petersburg is not only an architectural work and the connection of the 2 banks of the Neva, but also a place steeped in legends and secrets. One of the most famous is the story of a golden rivet camouflaged among its metal neighbors. You think a rivet is something small, but it's not. Look at the Eiffel Tower and you'll see the size of the rivets used in it. The rivets used on the bridge are the same size and weigh over a kilogram. According to legend, when the bridge was built, one of the rivets was replaced with real gold. The builders, believing in the power of the symbol, decided that it would bring them luck, wealth, and prosperity. Thus began a mystery that became interesting not only for the locals, but also for many tourists coming to the northern capital of Street Petersburg. Over the years, the legend of the Golden Rivet has become an indispensable part of the stories of the bridge. Many brave adventurers have traveled every corner of the bridge in search of this treasure. Some believed that it really existed, while others thought it was just a fairy tale that added mystery and charm to the place. Nevertheless, despite numerous attempts to find the Golden Rivet, it has remained hidden from view. But perhaps that is its power, its ability to awaken in people a sense of mystery and a desire to believe in miracles. Bolsheokhtinsky Bridge continues to be not only a symbol of the city, but also a place where a mystery lurks, which attracts the attention of everyone who steps on its road. Perhaps the Golden Rivet will remain an unattainable treasure, but it will forever remain a part of the history of this amazing city. That's the story for today. I look forward to having you as viewers of my YouTube channel. See you soon. And now I invite you to take a walk with me and enjoy the sounds of our city on a small walking tour.